Okay, David, I figured out what I think is the only solution we really have as far as if there's a power outage and you want to just power on your computer and have Directory Monitor automatically start with someone not logging into the system, meaning that it's completely no user intervention at all. The way I found out online, I looked up pretty much every article I could find, and without doing a service, one of the few things I found is to do a task scheduler, because the task scheduler could actually run something as a specific user in the background. So to do that, it's still not perfect in the sense that there's a user intervention. So if you could pretend that right now that the directory monitor is running and I clicked auto start, this is an option that we could do instead of the current auto start, where it says to set this application run when a user is not logged in, i.e. on a startup such as after a power outage, you must follow these steps exactly. A bat file will be created for you that you should delete after running, as it will contain an unencrypted password in plain text. I actually had that automatically delete, and we could change the text that it displays. But basically what you're doing is when you click auto start, you would need to enter in your Windows username, then your Windows password, and then when you hit enter, it automatically creates this batch file for you. And on here it gives you a little instruction. It says the batch file is now created. Right click on the batch file and select run as administrator. As soon as you do that, if you run this normally, watch what happens when I run it normally. See how it says access is denied because it doesn't have access to run that. So what you got to do is you got to right click on this and you run it as administrator. And now it'll go ahead and it's creating the task to do that. So it now says success, the scheduled task was created. At this point, when I click OK, anytime the computer restarts now, Directory Monitor would automatically start under the current username, meaning I never need to do any user intervention, which I don't know if the solution here is to give them both options, to keep just the current one, which means the user needs to log in, or replace the first one completely and just use this one, meaning that the user then could set an auto start and it would run whether the user's logged in or not. I think it's an added benefit to have this feature. I don't love that it requires a little bit of user intervention, but I haven't found any way to do it without having some sort of user intervention on it. And this, it requires the user to log in or to put in their username and password and then run it as administrator. Yeah, well, let me know what you think. We could change the wording, we could change the flow, but I do feel that it is a benefit to give someone the option to do this type of stuff, because if it was me and I didn't have a Linux box, or I was kind of adamant about running this on Windows, I would want the option to make it start up if there's a power outage or something like that, just because you kind of want a box running regardless if you're going to be doing Directory Monitor and kind of integrated with your Office. So I get the purpose of it. But let me know.